Well, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us on a beautiful Friday morning. Looking forward to talking today about Social Security and all well, we won't get to all of the ins and outs of Social Security claiming. But we're going to try and hit upon the top five or so that can help you with your clients that might have some very basic Social Security questions. Beyond that, we're going to spend some time and give you opportunity to learn more and help you with that. And also, we're going to talk a little bit about how you can use that expertise to assist your clients, gain more clients, and be more referable. So really good webinar today. Our guest speaker is Dave Pimper. Dave is the president of Lazarus Coaching. He is also a top producer in his own right, and he has been since we've known him here at IAMS for about 17 years. He's been a top producer with us, and he has actually been in the business since 1981. He works in both the guaranteed and non-guaranteed investment options available to his clients. So works with securities as well as MYGAs and fixed indexed annuities to grow his business and to help them. So he is doing exactly what you're doing. And in addition to that, he's been kind enough over the past 14, 15 years now to work with us on coaching, helping some of our producers via coaching with seminars, Social Security claiming, and radio. So should be a good webinar here today. I'm going to go through a couple of things. I will mention that if you have any questions, type them in. We'll try and get them asked and answered here before we depart in about 45 minutes to an hour. And there will be a couple of polls that will pop up. And I do ask that if you could just answer those as quickly as possible, as quickly as you have a thought. And if you, that keeps the event moving quickly for us. And that way we know if you have interest. And I always tell people this, these polls are, if you don't worry about putting no, everything isn't a yes around here. So if it's not something of interest to you, something you don't want any more information on, just put no on the poll. If you want a little bit more information, go ahead and put yes. All right, so here we go this morning. My name is Steve Murray. I'm president here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. I do get the good fortune of most Tuesdays and some Fridays working with Dave on these presentations are really more sales and prospecting oriented, so I look forward to those. Here's a couple things that you need to know about. We've got a new producer builder. There's a share of you, I would say 15 of you on here today that this would be applicable to. If you're in your first 180 days of contract with IAMS and you get to where you're doing some business, then you can take some benefits. I call it kind of a marketing reimbursement on steroids. You can see before you the levels and the things that you can claim at those various levels to keep in mind. And I think this is the big takeaway, two big takeaways. Number one, there's extra benefits available to you for a fast start with us. And number two, if there's something that you're doing on your own that you would like us to donate to at kind of a higher level during your first 180 days, that's certainly available as well. Just let us know, let's talk it over, get with your sales director, and we'll find a way to make it work. And of course, these two programs, most of you are aware of. RPM, most of you, probably not most of you, but a good number of you have taken advantage of RPM over the years. It's the way that you can get rewarded for referring your colleagues to us, your fellow producers. Nothing comes out of their pocket, but what we do is we put a little extra cash bonus in your pocket, and that's ongoing. We pay 20 basis points generally, sometimes a little more, sometimes a little less, depending on the product and the and age and things like that. And that gets as paid as a bonus to you when you pay those out generally quarterly. Some of you on here know, I know at least one of you gets that paid out monthly, just based on the size of that the payout. But most of you get a check on this quarterly. If you know someone that can benefit from our training, our service, our incentives, the things that we do here at IAMS, give your sales director a call. Let them know that you have someone that might be interested, and we'll take it from there. And then if they do indeed get appointed with us, you'll start seeing some bonus checks flow in. Marketing reimbursement is a much simpler program. All you do is when you do business, money goes in your marketing reimbursement account. You spend money on the marketing part of your business, and we will reimburse. We'll match your spend dollar for dollar. So kind of double the benefit of your marketing efforts. Most of you now use Firelight. That's the EAP system that most carriers use. Most of you are doing EAPs now. There's a couple carriers that we work with. The one that comes to mind right away that has an EAP that's outside the Firelight system, but most use Firelight. And most of you are using that now. For those of you that may not be, I would not have been in this camp 3 years ago, but I would definitely say that now the EAP systems and the EAP process has been simplified to the point where it hardly makes sense not to take advantage of it. That way you always know you got the right forms, you got the right blanks filled out, everything that you need should be pretty well or very close to correct when you turn it in the carrier. And what we know for sure is that carriers are handling e-applications quicker just because they can. It goes directly into their system, so that gets the process started for you quicker and for your client quicker. So if you're not doing e-apps, you should be. And if you're not using our single sign-on here at IAMS, if you're a producer with IAMS, you're eligible to use our single sign-on, which means that you can do most of the carriers that do e-apps, which on the Firelight system, with this, just going to our website. So you just go to our website, put in the carrier, and you can go from there. You don't have to go to every carrier separate website to do their separate EAP. You can do them all right on our website. So it saves you a lot of time. If you're doing 2 apps on the same client with 2 different carriers, you can do the cut and paste, which saves you a ton of time on re-inputting information. So that's another benefit to doing the EAP. It helps us a little bit because it goes right in to our system for review quicker as well. So it's kind of a win-win-win. Hopefully, if you're not taking advantage of that, you call your sales director and say, hey, how do I get signed up? Because it takes about 2 minutes to get signed up on our website to do EAP. So hopefully you take advantage of that. We got a great advertising team. They're going to help you grow your brand in your area. We're going to do as much work on that as we can pro bono. We've got a lot of stuff that we do for guys. It's kind of stock. We just put your name on it. We can do a lot of that stuff for you pro bono. If you need a website, we can do that for you really inexpensively. I know guys have literally paid hundreds and thousands of dollars for website development and end up with a website that's not nearly as applicable to our marketplace as the ones that we put together for guys. We can do that for you really inexpensively, host it for you really inexpensively. So to us, that's a way that we can help you grow your business, and that's good for us and good for you. So whatever we can do for you on the advertising side, give your sales director a call and say, hey, this is what I'm thinking, or hey, what are the guys using them for, and take advantage of them. They've got, it really is magical what they can do and how they can throw things together and really make them come out great. Take advantage too of our retirement analyzer. If you're a producer with us, which I know that many of you on board with us today are already producing with us, this is free to you. We'll take care of your monthly cost to have the retirement analyzer. And so if you have interest, give Marcus a call. I'll shoot you out in the chat the name. We got a couple folks that kind of specialize in that. Marcus and Justin, they really do a great job with it. They know the product pretty well inside and out, can help you with it. But it's really, the retirement analyzer is a great way for you to better work with your A, B, and maybe even your C clients on just a complete financial overview for them. And I think you'll be surprised and amazed by how much you learn from your client when you approach it with a little bit more well-rounded look at their total financial picture, which is kind of required when you're using a product like the Retirement Analyzer. To get the best information out, of course, you need the best and most complete information going in. And one of the reasons I like the Retirement Analyzer is because they do a better job of getting good information out is kind of that bare minimum of information in. So it makes your life a little bit easier. So give Marcus a call. If you're doing business with us, like I say, we pay that monthly fee. All I ask that you do, and this is business owner to business owner here, if you get it and you're looking at it and you're using it, and it's making you money, that's great. If you get it, you look at it, and maybe you try it once or twice, say, you know what, it's really not for me. Please let us know that so that we're not ongoing paying that monthly rate for you. We are going to go to Park City. Qualification just ended for our Park City trip. We do a convention, and we do this kind of a cooperative with one of our carriers, Athene, and we've been doing that together with them for years now. We do our own Top Producer Summit, which we'll talk about in a minute, but this is a specific to producers of IAMS that do business with the theme. We're going to Park City in August. We're going to announce the next destination here fairly quickly. It'll probably be a beach destination. We'll probably go in the springtime. So watch for that. But many of you, or not many of you, I see just a couple of you that are on the list today are going to be joining us in Park City. We're looking forward to that. Let's talk for now about our Top Producer Summit. The Top Producer Summit is our all carrier, all business, everything you do through us counts towards qualification. It takes 4.5 million to qualify, relatively small amount, and you have 18 months to do it. Now we are already 6 months in, or now 7 months in, so you have 11 more months to do 4.5 million points. It's dollar for dollar on your annuity premium, and 10 credits for every dollar of target premium and so on. You can kind of see that, but we're going to go down to a place called the Sanctuary at Kiawah Island, a beautiful spot. As it would, the name would imply, it's very relaxing and kind of right out on the beach, right out on the ocean, beautiful spot. They do have a couple of world-class golf courses there. I think one is PGA level at Kiawah Island if you're a golfer, but there's so much to do there, a lot of outdoor activities take advantage of. And of course, you're not far from places like Charleston and all that goes on there. In fact, we're going to take our top 20 finishers to the Charleston Place, which is, I had the good fortune of staying there here recently. Beautiful hotel right in the heart of downtown Charleston. We're going to take you and your guests there for a couple of days for a little extra pampering. So get going on that. Let's get you qualified for that trip. We got plenty of time to do it. We hope to see you and your guests there. So let's talk about Social Security maximization with the coach. We got Dave Pimper. I gave you a little bit of background on Dave, but I think it's notable that besides his about 12 years now doing Social Security seminars, he's done over 560 seminars in front of clients, in front of consumers. So he's really got a lot of expertise and experience at seminars. He also does Retirement Boss Radio. He's been doing radio in some form or another for probably about 30 of his 41 years. But over the last 4 years, he's been doing Retirement Boss Radio, which is a full 1 hour show each week on the radio. And he's going to tell you what his results and what the results of some of his folks that he's working with on Retirement Boss Radio. I think you'll love to hear about that as well, because both of those, seminars and radio, are great ways to demonstrate to the masses the value and the benefit of taking full and best advantage of their Social Security, which you can help them with, and not a lot of people can. So let's welcome now, I think, can we welcome the coach? Are you out there with us, Dave?
Absolutely, Steve. How are you doing?
Very, very well. Very well. I spent some time. I told the folks a little bit about your background as we signed on, and then I gave them a little bit more background on what you've been doing in radio and seminars here recently as it applies to Social Security claiming. So thank you for joining us here this morning. We've got a great group. I'm going to let you take the helm.
Okay. Hey, on the numbers that we just got for our Social Security workshop, should I just dummy those down and don't tell them the truth?
Yeah, I don't think you want to tell them the real numbers. That's
yeah, bizarre.
I mean, expectation.
Yeah, we have one up in the Northeast, and we have one down in Florida that have just blown numbers away like we've never seen before. So, but we'll talk about that later. Hey, thanks everybody for being on the webinar today. We're going to talk about Social Security, and I tell you what, a lot of advisors don't go into the Social Security educational business because there is no money to make from it. I mean, unless you're charging per hour, which hardly anybody does. They think, how can I make money? But I'll tell you what, you uncover an incredible amount of assets when you find out when is the best time for a person to take Social Security. My name is Dave Pimper. My coaching firm is Lazarus Coaching, Lazarus, like biblical Lazarus. And I've coached for a long time, 30 plus years, but 17 of those years, going on 18, actually I've coached with Insurance Agency Marketing Services, Steve Murray, who is our cordial host and really principal owner of Insurance Agency Marketing Services. He's been there for 25 plus years, and I've just never seen anyone who really understands this business as Steve does. So let's talk about Social Security claiming, okay? And the question here is why the advisor should understand Social Security. It's going to be this is a 30-minute seminar. We're going to be done at quarter till, and we'll take any questions. So type them on in. So hang on. Let's learn a little bit about Social Security claiming. This comes from CNBC. Sarah O'Brien was the journalist that wrote this. It says most retirees get little advisor help on Social Security. Now listen closely. A majority of older Americans get no. That's none, nada, zero. Professional advice about a key part of retirement planning, Social Security, even if they work with a financial advisor. It's a great story. And I'm not making this up. Yesterday, this one happened to come in from an 8 mistakes dinner workshop that I did. I got 15. This was 2 weeks ago. I got 15 signups for consultations. The folks come on in and they said the reason we're here. They said thank you for the dinner, but the reason we're here because we need to find out when to take our Social Security. And so I'm going through that Social Security, and I'm going through the questions that I ask about income or pensions or RMDs, income they could pull from investments, the 401ks, etc. Actually, we have a slide, and I'll show that, called the 5 pillars of income. And he said, would you like to see my investments? And I said, I would. And so he shows me he has a sheet. He's pretty, it's not an Excel sheet, but it's off of a Word. And, they have they have a little more assets, but somewhere in stocks that have cost basis and don't want to sell. But 375,000 of assets. And I said, would you be open to have me give you some ideas? And they said, we absolutely would. We were hoping you would take something that small. This is what they said, that small. And I said, oh yeah, I don't have any minimums whatsoever. And he said, you know what? He said, we're just really unhappy with our advisor, which just happened to be an Edward Jones advisor. We're just very unhappy that he didn't contact us last year and how much we lost. Well, I won't tell you. That's it. They came in, even though we talked about a lot of different subjects, he came in because of Social Security, and he had all of his statements, the listing of his dollar amounts. And you know what I did say to him? I said, did you ask your Edward Jones advisor, does he understand Social Security? He said, most of the times they don't. And he said, well, you know what? We never talked to him, so we can't ask him. Yeah. So I'll tell you, getting in front of people is the mainstay in our business. If you're not in front of people or on the phone with a prospect or a client, you know what? Then you're just like that hamster running on a wheel. You could be busy, but not productive. Productive is getting that one closer to the sales. Only 1 in 25 advisors and CPAs and lawyers and bankers really understand Social Security. Let's take this test. Only 1 in 300 people can ace it. I'm fortunate that I did. So here we go. To maximize your monthly Social Security check, at what age must you claim benefits? To maximize your monthly Social Security checks, at what age must you claim the benefit? Okay, what's the answer? Write it down. Here we go. Is it age full retirement? No, it's age 70. To get your biggest one check, you got to wait for 70. Remember, there's a difference between maximizing your one biggest check and maximizing your lifetime income. If you get that one biggest check on January 1 when you're 70 and you die February 1 when you're 70 in 1 month, and you're single, yeah, you get one check, but it's your lifetime benefit that is so important. Question number 2, what's the earliest age you can receive survivor's benefits if you're not disabled? What's the earliest age you can receive survivor's benefits if you're not disabled? Write it down. Age is 60. Discounted at a 28.5% discount. Doesn't make a difference if your FRA, full retirement age, is 66 or 67. It's discounted 28.5%, but you are able to get it early. Number 3, does your spouse need to receive benefits for you to qualify for spousal benefits? It's an interesting question. Does your spouse need to receive their benefits for you to qualify for a spousal benefit? Yay or nay? It is yes, they do. Number 4, can divorced spouses, is there a divorced spouse benefit even with Social Security? Can divorced spouses receive spousal benefits? Good question. Write your answer down. Answer is yes, they can, if those 4 stipulations are met. What are the 4 stipulations? So to get this answer right, you got to guess 2 of the 4 stipulations. What has to line up for you to act as if you're divorced and act as if your spouse is still married to you as far as Social Security? There's more options with married couples than there are singles. So see if we can get the stipulations. Here they are. Write 2 of them down, or all of them down if you got them. They are: your marriage has to last 10 years continuously or longer. Secondly, you are currently unmarried. The spouse can be married. You can't be married taking the claim. Number 3, your ex is at least 62, and the 4th one is the divorce was 2 years ago or longer. If you got 2 of those right, I'm going to give this question to you if you answered yes. But those are the 4 things that need to all stars and moons to line up. Last question: are you eligible for survivor's benefits if you're divorced? Now we're talking about survivor benefits. What do you think? Answer is, yep, you are. Just as if you're married to him. And those stipulations, again, have to be met. So how did you do on that? How did you do? So if you got all 5 right, you should be teaching the webinar. No, that'd be good. I mean, if you didn't guess you really knew the answer, that's because those, even though not real tricky questions, most people just don't have much of a clue about Social Security claiming. Only the very basics. If you got only 1 or 2 right, maybe even 3, it would help you to really learn. If you're working with the pre-retired to just retired, and because this is sponsored by a field marketing organization, Insurance Agency Marketing Services, even though they have a wealth management side, been around for 5 years, their mainstay since '86 when it started by Charles Hiring, is the fixed indexed annuity, the fixed annuity, the life insurance, the long-term care. It's the insurance end. Medicare Sup, Medicare Advantage. That's the insurance end. And so what happens is that you're working with people here that are pre-retired and just retired. You normally aren't going to show an annuity, even if it's legal to someone who's 25, 30 years of age. You just normally don't. You show it to someone who's up in age. So it's a long-term retirement investment. Okay? So we work with people normally from 50 to 70. That's our bailiwick. That's our wheelhouse of working with folks. We give Social Security workshops. So talking about just learning the Social Security trade. First of all, having a person like myself to help you, coach you, to mentor, you have a mentoring experience. It's a lot easier than going out there and trying to learn it on your own. I did that on my own. It was tough. I learned it, but it took me much longer than if I would have had someone that could have helped me with my questions. So first of all, Social Security seminars, they're hot right now. I mean, I got one coming up next week. I got 49 people signed up right now. So I think that I'll have 55, 60 folks by next week. We're not going to get all those people there, but we'll have full houses. It's at the Elkhorn Library, West Omaha. Yeah. So those are $2,700.50. And you know what you get for that? You get the PowerPoint. I put that together, 44 slides. I personally think it's probably one of the better PowerPoints. It's easy to understand. It's simple. It's a good seminar. What happens is that if you don't know Social Security, I coach you up 3 coaching sessions on Social Security. I go through every single slide. And just remember, in this business, if you know the individual benefit, how that works with Social Security, the spousal benefit, survivor, and divorce, if you know those 4 things, you know about 80-85% of all the questions that'll be thrown to you. Who on those 3 sessions, who pays me? Not you, IAMS, Insurance Agency Market Services, the FMO. They know that if you're giving seminars, I mean, it's incredible. We would like to get a minimum of 10 appointments, a minimum. The last Social Security workshop I did, I got 14 appointments. I was very, very happy. And I know this is wild. The person down in Florida on his first night, no kidding. I mean, this I'm being honest with you. He got 27 appointments. Now, am I gonna? Will you ever? That may never happen. It's never happened to me. And I do hundreds and hundreds of workshops. But I will tell you, people are people want to get out. They want to learn. 94% of all retired people of age are taking or will be taking a Social Security benefit. Pretty wild. So you learn Social Security through doing a Social Security seminar and getting in front of qualified, hopefully, prospects. Retirement Boss Radio, every weekend I've got a radio show. It's recorded. I'm on for an hour. I mean, I average over 10 appointments per month, but they're 35% of all the calls that come in are Social Security related. So what happens is that we also coach you up there, and I am space for that. Or you can just say, Dave, hey, you know what? I don't want to do the marketing. You know, yeah, then you can just pay me. You pay me $800. We're going to coach you up for 4 sessions. And each one of those, you're able to use me as a resource anytime down the road. I always say, use me, don't abuse me. I don't want people calling twice a day. I don't have that time. But you know what? If you call or you email me, I'm going to respond quickly to give you that answer. So you've got an ally that's on your side. If any questions, type them in. Be more than happy to answer them for you. 59% of all retirees count their Social Security as their major source of income. How about that? Listen to this. Doing this one thing with your Social Security can mean losing $100,000 in retirement. By Jenna Herron from USA Today. It says, how much does claiming Social Security at the wrong time cost you? You ever thought about that? I'm going to tell you what, it can cost you a lot. Retirees will lose an average of $111,000 in income per household over their lifetime. Why? They took benefits at the wrong time. Only 4% take at the right time. A wild statistic. Started back in 1935 at Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Remember, the average person lived to age 62 back then, and benefits started at 65. There's 15 people working for every single person retired. Only date you could take is 65. Yeah. First taxation started in 83, little higher brackets, more brackets in 93. Bipartisan Budget Act of 15 implemented 1/1/16 was the first changes we've had in a long time, doing away with file and suspend in 6 months, and restricted application will be done January 31st of this year, or excuse me, December 31st of this year. So that's going away. Okay, so been around for 87 years, which is pretty wild. This is Social Security in a nutshell. If you take one thing away of just understanding Social Security, this is it. There's 3 ages or dates that are important to you. Everything starts at full retirement age. Full retirement age. So if you're born from 1954 or before, your full retirement age is 62. Excuse me, your full retirement age is 66. 66, my fault. 66 is full retirement age. If you're born from 55 up to, it starts stair stepping. If you're born in 55 up to 1960, it goes up to 67 years of age. And then if you're born after 1960 or later, it's 67. Okay? That's when you get your full benefit, 100% of your benefit, not discounted or not added to. If you take early, it's discounted. If you take as early as 62, discounted for life somewhere between 30 to 35%. Excuse me, I'm going to take that back. Discounted between 25 and 30%. 25 from 66 up to 30% if you're 67. If you wait, it's guaranteed to grow 8% a year. 8% a year. And remember, cost of living is on top of every single benefit. That's the early thing. That's basically the easy thing about Social Security is this slide right here. If you take a full retirement age, you get to 100% of your benefit. You take earlier, it's discounted. You wait longer, it's increased. That's the simplicity of it. Can Social Security have a huge value? Darn right. If 2 things happen, if you claim at your right time, not the right time, not a right time, and you live long enough to enjoy that benefit. Important. Now, Make sure this is the next slide. Yeah, it is. Okay, good. Now, 2.8 trillion in the trust fund. We did run a deficit last year, first time since 1983. We ran a deficit, mainly because of all the people that were retired or laid off or fired from the pandemic. Yeah. So when you hear someone saying Social Security is going broke, what they really should be saying is Social Security Trust Fund is going broke, because Social Security per se cannot go broke because it's a pay-as-you-go system from payroll taxes. The 6.2% you pay and the 6.2% your employer pays. That 12.4%, that pays for the $1 trillion worth of revenue coming in to pay out benefits. Okay, so when you look at Social Security, is it going broke? No. Is the trust fund running out of money? It will in 2035, unless there's some changes. But there's going to be changes. Remember this: if Social Security, if there was not a Social Security check going to Americans, half of the people would be in the poorhouse. Really, they'd have to live with relatives, live on the street. Yeah, truthfully, they certainly don't want to live on the street in Fremont, Nebraska today on February the 10th, because it's pretty darn cold up here. They're going to shore up Social Security. They're not going to let it default out of the trust fund. They're either going to tax it more, or they're going to go on in and maybe raise the ages that you take Social Security. It's a pay-as-you-go system. The government buys special issue Treasury bonds. They have no market value adjustment. Current coupons a little over 3%. But I'll tell you, the government sells those right away and pays off other debt, or they get loans against them and pays off other debt. So really, there's nothing but IOUs that back Social Security. That's it. It's a full faith and credit that backs Social Security. So people say it's a Ponzi scheme. There's no gold, no silver, no Bitcoin. Yeah, what backs the currency? What backs the dollar bill? Gold, silver? No, nothing backs it. No loans, nothing backs it. Same thing that backs Social Security, just the full faith and credit of the U.S. government. So if cash goes bad, yeah, then I'll start getting concerned. You need 40 quarters of coverage, or they're called work credits, to get a Social Security benefit. This year, $1,640. If you make $1,640, you will get a work credit when it comes to Social Security. If you make $6,560 in the year, it doesn't make a difference if it's all on January 1 or, it used to be before 2078, before 78, you had to do it each quarter, but now it's just the year. Yeah, if you get 6,560, you got your 4 quarters in. You need 40 of those. Okay? If you have 39, you don't get any partial. It's all or none in this business. They take your earnings over your working career. The more you make, the bigger those benefits are of quarters, each quarterly credit. The earlier age you take, the more it's discounted. The longer you wait, up to age 70, doesn't help to wait past 70, but up to 70, the bigger it's going to get. They take your 35 highest inflation-adjusted years. Many people, including me, before I knew Social Security, thought they were going to take like 3 years or 5 years. It was like a pension. Your biggest last 3 years, or your last 3 of your 5 years. No, they take 35 years. It's all inflation-adjusted. Because it's inflation-adjusted, just because you had a $25,000 benefit in '79, doesn't sound like much money, but in today's day and time, you probably maxed out your benefit, inflation-adjusted. COLA last year was 5.9. What is COLA this year? You know what COLA is? Cost of living? In retail inflation? Yeah, was 8.7%. 8.7%. Pretty big deal when it comes to your benefit. Just talked to a guy this morning. His went up over $200 just in this 1 year. Gotta love that dog. Full retirement age, 43 to 54 age date. Age 66 is your full retirement age. If you're born at 55, it's 66 years and 2 months. And it stair steps all the way up to 1960, age 67. A newborn born today, age 67. Probably will change, but that's what it is now. If you take early, it's discounted. If you wait longer, it increases with delayed retirement credits, 8% a year. If you take early, it's called an actuarial reduction. If you wait longer, it's called a delayed retirement credit, DRC. Lots of acronyms. Just to give you an idea, I got about a $3,000 benefit. That's my full retirement age benefit. I just let it grow my first year. I got a guaranteed 8%. I got a guaranteed 5.9% cost of living. So that's 13.9%, basically 14%. That gave me just over $400, $412 on my benefit in 1 year for just waiting a year. For every month, the rest of my life, I want to make a little over $400. This year, I'm doing exactly the same thing. Want to delay it for a year? I'll get a guaranteed 8%, not 7.5, not 8.5, guaranteed 8. You throw 8.9% on top of that. Now you're at 16.9. My benefit just went up $500 a month. So now you know what? Now in 2 years, mine's just gone up $900. How do you beat them apples? I mean, social people just don't know the power that Social Security has. Okay. So let's talk about spousal benefits. First of all, do you have to ask for that spousal benefit, or is it given to you automatically from the Social Security Administration? For the few of you that said you have to ask for it, you're right, you do. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. That said you have to ask for it, you're wrong. It's done automatically. It's done automatically, which is wild. Yeah. So this example, Dave's benefits 2,400, Amy's benefits is 1,000. PIA just means primary insurance amount. That's the amount of full retirement age. There's no discounting here. Dave takes his, Amy takes hers. Dave gets 2,400. Amy has an option. All of hers or half of Dave's, whichever is higher. It's called the Deeming Rule, DEEMING, the Deeming Rule. It comes into play. You'll get the better of the two automatically. What's she going to get? She's going to get a spousal top-up. As long as Dave's taking. If Dave's not taking, Amy can't take that spousal top-up. Remember, that was a part of that, Dave has to be taking. It's part of that question that we had on our test. Next slide. Social Security survivor benefits, everybody dies. Physically, we die. Maybe not spiritually, our soul, but you know what? We're in the ground or we get cremated, one of the two. Dave's benefits $2,000. Amy's benefits $1,200. Who dies first? The guy dies 75% of the time first. Dave kicks the bucket. Amy has her choice. Keep her benefit, drop Dave's. Drop her benefit, takes Dave's. She can't take both benefits. So what's she gonna do? You darn right. She's gonna drop her $1,200. She's gonna take Dave's $2,000. It's an $800 pop up. For Miss Retired here. Got to ask for it, done automatically. Got to ask for it. It's not done automatically. They don't know when everybody dies. Any questions? Certainly call me. Or questions, just type it on in. Divorce spouse. Yeah, there's our divorce spouse benefits. One of our test questions. Remember the 4 stipulations? To claim your ex as if you're still married to them, like you're still married couple, and that's good because you have many more benefits. Yeah, marriage lasted for 10 years or longer. You're currently unmarried. Your ex is 62 or older. And lastly, divorce was at least 2 years ago or longer. All those things line up. You darn right. You can take your spouse as if you're married with them. I'll give you an extreme example of why that's so important. Let's say that you're a doctor. You're making $1 million a year. You max out your Social Security. You married you basically your entire life, and he finds some young one, finds a little trophy gal, 15 years his junior, dumps his wife. His wife never worked. She volunteered. She stayed home with the 5 kids. She did all the dirty work, and now her husband dumps her. Well, what kind of benefit does she get on her own? Nothing. She has, how many hours does she need? 40 quarterly credits, 4 work credits. She has 40. She has none, not one. But because she was married and now they're divorced, that marriage lasted 35 years and now divorced, well, let's see if the stipulations line up. Was she married for 10 consecutive years or longer? Yes. Is she currently unmarried? Unfortunately, she just got divorced. Yeah. Thirdly, is her ex at least 62? Yeah, the bum 66. And lastly, the divorce was at least 2 years ago or longer. So let's say that's the case here. So all of those things have to line up. She cannot take a benefit till he claims. But let's just say let's say he has a $3,000 benefit and it grows to 45. Say it's 40. It goes to 4,500. Let's say it goes to 4,000. Make it simple math. $4,000. What she can do is she can go on in once he claims. She can go and get half his benefit. If that was a survivor, 4,000, he dies. He kicks the bucket. Adios, good riddance to the bum. Then she can jump up to his full benefit. Spousal is half, survivor is full. See how important that spousal or that survivor benefit could be. It works with divorce also. Coordinating spousal benefits. I'm not going to take much time on this, but the Bipartisan Budget Act phased it out over 8 years, so it ends this year. But you have to be born before January 2nd of 1954. You got to be 69 years and a month old. If you're not, you can't do this. So what's restricted? Dave's going to wait to 70. He's going to let his grow and grow and grow those delayed retirement credits. Amy's going to take hers at 66. She takes hers, she gets $1,000. He's letting his grow. With restricted application, you can reach out and take a spousal benefit, even though you are still letting yours grow. How cool is that? Half of Amy's is a spousal benefit. Half of 1,000 is 500 times 12 is $6,000 a year. There's still $5,500 left if you would restrict right now. But that is going away. Used to be a pretty cool thing, but a lot of people got out of the business because restricted application was phasing out and file suspend. That was all the sizzle and the steak of the seminars. Well, you know what? People might get excited about the sizzle. They might buy the sizzle, but the meat of the matter is the steak is the part, and that's people just don't have the basic understanding of Social Security. You know what Social Security can do? They can give your highest benefit at a certain age. At age 62, 66, 70. They can give you what your benefit's going to be. You know what they can't do? They can't give you advice. Is that wild? I asked my CPA, lawyer, banker, who do you refer to? Because I want them to refer to me. I said, so somebody wants advice, who do you refer to? Every one of them said Social Security Administration. They can't give advice. They can estimate your individual benefit, basically, is what they can do. Number D there, they can provide enough information so that claimants can make informed choices, but don't give advice. That gives us a clean slate to go in there and help people. So remember, it's not a standalone income stream. I always say it's the worst water cooler talk there is. Hey, Dave, I took it 62 and you should too. Hey, Dave, I waited to 70 and absolutely you should too. Even though you got bad for stage 4 cancer, going to die in 5 months, I'd wait longer. Yeah, it's ridiculous. You claim what's the right time for yourself. Remember, I talked about the wages, pensions, income producing assets, RMD, social. That number 3 is where I make my money. I uncover 401ks. Like yesterday, guy came on in, had questions on Social Security. You know, he has 300 and yes, he has a little more than that, but some of the single stocks he doesn't sell, but like $350,000-$60,000. I mean, you know what? And I got a better than a 50-50 chance that I'm going to work with that money. Lots of different kind of benefits. My gosh, when to consider claiming. It goes on forever and ever. Remember, we offer 3 ways. If you don't know Social Security, shame on you. You know, if you compete against Dave Pipper, you're going to lose that deal. Because I'm going to talk about Social Security and what my knowledge is there, and I can teach you. I mean, if you're at a scale of 1 to 10, and 1 being the lowest, knowing nothing, and 10 knowing everything, if you're a 3 or a 4 or a 2 or a 3 or a 1 or a 2, I'm going to get you up to that 6, 7. I may not get you to a 9 or 10, but I'll tell you what, if you read the book and you're asking people about, you know, can I help you with your Social Security? You're calling Dave Pimper for the answers that you don't know. You're going to make more money. If we take some marketing behind that, from seminar marketing or Retirement Boss radio marketing, there's some kind of marketing that you're getting in front of people. the name of this game is so simple. We're in a simple kind of selling game. Two things have to happen on an ongoing daily basis. First of all, what's extremely happy? You got to get in front of a person. You can do it through referral marketing. You can do it through billboard. We do it through seminars and radio. And it's performed extremely well. Not just as of late, but that's radio got me through the pandemic. My seminars did nothing. I tried to do some virtual seminars, didn't have much success. But my radio killed them. We did great on radio. Okay? But seminars are $2,750 for all in. We guarantee 35 people there. Excuse me, we guarantee 35 signups. There won't be 35 people there. There might be 15 or 20, but we guarantee 35 signups. Okay? Retirement. And I coach you 3 sessions on Social Security. You do not pay for it. Insurance agency marketing pays for it. They know the chance of you writing business is better if you have in your hip pocket Social Security knowledge. Retirement Boss Radio, 35% of all my business comes in. We coach you up 3 sessions there. If you just want to pay $800, I'll coach you up for 4 sessions. A little more in depth, but 4 sessions. And 4 sessions, $800. If you go in and you do for $800, you do 100,000 or 125,000 of a fixed indexed, and that helps you to close the deal. You know what? You've just paid for the coaching. It's pretty darn reasonable. Not many people do that in the marketplace. There's no saying. It says procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop. Hey, tomorrow never comes. Never arrives. Don't let that happen to you. We're going to put up a poll. And the poll is to take action. If you mark yes on this poll, if you want more information on Social Security coaching, mark yes. And all I'm going to do is you're going to get on my calendar. And I'm going to give you a call. I don't recall right on the button, not before, not after. We talk for 15, 20 minutes at the most. But just see how maybe learning Social Security, could you implement a marketing structure that is around Social Security claiming? I won't tell you what, through seminars, through radios, through referrals, you certainly can. Having that knowledge is different than the average person. The average advisor doesn't know diddly about Social Security claiming. Dave Pipper will help you, coach you, mentor with you, so you really can get good at that subject. So I'm going to turn it over to Steve Murray and see if we have any questions, and then we'll go ahead and button this show up for the week.
Thanks, Dave. Good stuff as always. There are a lot of questions. I was impressed too with the number of people that were participating in the answers, and it looked like there's a lot of folks that are on board with us today that have a pretty good idea of some of the basics of Social Security. So that's a really good thing. There was a couple of questions about having these slides made available. So what we do is we do record these events and we put them on our website. So before we're done today here, I'll chat you all the website, and then if I have a second when we're done, I'll show you where on our website you can find the recordings of these events, so you can have that. We don't actually send the PowerPoint out, but we will send you a recording of the event. So Dave, I don't know when you joined us exactly. I know you didn't join right at the start. I talked about a couple of things. I talked about
I was going to say 2005. You meant this webinar. I was from the very I was on the entire. I was listening to you. You did a good job. I was listening.
Sure. Well, I talked about Retirement Boss Radio and seminars, and that sparked a couple of early on questions about seminars. And I know you've covered a lot of that. So I would just say that if you have interest in seminars, and you have a question that Dave didn't get answered along the way about what from a seminar success, I know you didn't cover like pricing on seminars, so maybe that would be a good thing to cover if you have a second, Dave.
Yeah, you bet. So seminar marketing, we do Facebook marketing, and I'm telling you, if you haven't done Facebook, you'll be amazed of how many people in this age use Facebook. And we guarantee 35 people will sign up. Not all of those will come, of course, but hopefully the majority. 35 signups guarantee $2,700.50. So what do you get? for $2,750. You get the PowerPoint, 44 slides. I put that together. IAMS did all the artwork, which they're extremely good. I know, Steve, you talked about your webinar presence and some of your marketing presence on the preamble, but I will tell you right now, it's a good looking presentation. It's informational, keeps people's attention. And what I do is, if you don't know Social Security, I coach you up on 3 sessions of Social Security claiming for that seminar. It doesn't cost you anything. Steve Murray, I guess it doesn't come out of your pocket, but it kind of does, doesn't it, Steve? So yeah.
Well, eventually.
That's right.
Yeah.
But IAMS, Insurance Agency Marketing Services, does pay for that. They pay me. They pay me to coach you. And the reason they know that if you're coached up and you have that knowledge, the chance of you converting into sales, and that's how an FMO makes money, is by running the insurance product, the fixed index or fixed or life or long-term care, whatever it goes through the FMO. That's how they make their money. So they pay for the coaching. So it's a double-edged good sword. One is, hopefully you'll get 10 or more appointments and get in front of more people. And the second thing is, you're learning Social Security and you have the availability of Dave Pimper from there on out. IAMS gives me a little stipend every month to keep you on board. I'm not in your hierarchy. We're not doing that. But I'm available for you to go on in and take, give all your Social Security questions, make sure you got good answers for those. And Steve, I think from the FM, you're pretty privy of your competition.
Mhm.
How many FMOs do you think have someone, the arrangement of myself from a coaching standpoint, and no cost to the client, and be able to call me? Do you know any other FMOs that have that available?
I know a lot. I would say the top 8 or 10 probably all offer Social Security seminars, but as far as the Social Security training, I don't think they take it for granted. I just think they figure guys and gals will learn it along the way or learn it on their own.
Right.
So the fact that we've got training and
ongoing
resource,
help.
yeah,
That's right.
resource like you, that's
the
pretty
uniqueness.
beneficial.
That's the uniqueness of it. It is, and people take advantage. I mean, Terry L. from the East Coast. I mean, he had a question yesterday. Yeah, and I coached him. He's a character, and he's had some success with seminars, with Social Security seminars. But yeah, he had a question from me yesterday on a survivor benefit. I may not say every day, but I would say at least every other day, one of my coaching clients call or they email me and say, "Hey, can you help me with this question?" That's right. And then, so that's kind of how those seminars are set up, Steve. And then we coach you through and help you through. And you normally do them at a library. Those aren't dinner seminars. They're strictly educational. But we've had tremendous success, and we really have had stupidly tremendous success in the last 3 or 4 weeks. But if we can get 10 appointments for you out of that, we're pretty darn happy.
Yeah, the guy down in Florida, this is the thing that we don't want to leave people with, is you can do Social Security seminars and, have 2 nights, and the first night get 27 appointments. That's unusual.
No, it's more than unusual. It's just downright scary to say that number. But that's fun. That's fun when it happens. You darn right it is. Yeah, he said, I'm going to have to hire more staff.
True.
Yeah.
But really, you expect, I mean, if things are going, kind of standard, hey, these are numbers that a person can expect, would you hope for a given seminar run of 2 nights, a Tuesday, Thursday type seminar setup, would you hope for 8 to 12 to 14 appointments in total from that? Is that realistic?
Yeah, 10. Just 10 or more. I mean, if I get under 10, I'm kind of unhappy. If I get more than 10, I'm kind of happy. That's it. On a marketing event, that's kind of what my goal is. Because, on 10, 4 or 5 of them are going to have some money available. And now that I'm going to close about a third to a half. So I'm going to get 1 to 2, and someone asked me, and, if I can get from $500,000 to maybe $750,000, for between a couple clients, happy as a lark. I got an appointment right after this. I got an appointment at 11 o'clock Central Time, right after this webinar. Those folks came in from the Social Security workshop. He works at the zoo. He's been with the zoo, the Henry Dorley Zoo, Steve, here in Omaha, which is one of the nicest, most acclaimed zoos in the United States. He's been there 39 years,
Oh, wow.
and he's just unhappy of how much he lost his 401k.
Mhm.
And Steve, he has an in-service plan. What's an in-service plan, Steve?
Well, Dave, that's the ability to actually, without disability or any other outstanding claimable events, be able to actually tap into all or a portion of your 401k without penalty and be able to transfer it to another qualified account.
Absolutely. And then the only thing I'd add to that is while you still continue to work there.
Right. Yep.
Don't have to leave it. That's exactly right. So he has 400,000. He has 400,000 and wants to move every single penny. And we may leave 1,000 in there, but this is I haven't done the business yet, but this is the second appointment. And he just said, you know what? He said, he said, I was doing just fine. Well, that was when the market was doing good. He said he lost last year 23%. He has a third or 35% of his money is in small company stocks. That investment lost for him almost 30% last year. And so he just said, I can't lose any more money.
For him.
No,
Yeah,
I'm retiring here.
That's one thing. Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So what happens is that's who we market to. That's what seminars market to. I mean, they market to that crowd that is in that kind of Medicare age. So, gosh, if you're not marketing right now, you should be. Steve, we were just talking yesterday about how the pandemic, it knocked a sheer amount of people, advisors, away from doing marketing, didn't it? And they haven't started back.
Haven't returned.
Right now.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I think it's a very good time and a very good time for marketing. Absolutely.
Yep. Dave, there are like 3 or 4 questions about what do we think the future of Social Security is. I know you don't have to listen to the press a lot to know that, it's Social Security is probably going to need some changes, although I guess Joe Biden says they're never going to touch it now.
Steve, be careful what you say here.
I know.
Yeah, but you're right. And I don't believe, I tell you what, politicians, both sides get kind of windy, but no, there will have to be some changes. Otherwise, Social Security the trust fund will go broke in 12, 13 years. But they're going to make some changes. They're going to raise taxes. They'll put different, maybe right now, you don't pay any tax on Social Security above 160,200 of income per year. Maybe that goes to 400 or 300, or like Medicare, you pay it all the way up. But there's going to be some kind of changes, but they will phase those changes in. And I'll also say this: if you're 50 or over, or 55 years of age over, you probably will not get touched on that. But is it going broke? The trust fund would run out of money because it's a pay-as-you-go system. That's scary when politicians say Social Security is going broke. Or you know what we think of going broke means? Adios. You have no money, no benefit. But that isn't the case. You'd have 75 or 80% of your benefit. So yeah, there will be some changes. I don't worry about that one bit. I sleep like a baby thinking how great of a benefit. It all social, don't you love also when we're talking, there are people out there that just hate the word annuity. Is there anything you don't want in your portfolio? Annuities. I mean, I hate annuities. Well, then you must hate Social Security because it's the greatest annuity of all times.
Yep.
It just happens to be a government guaranteed annuity instead of an insurance-based annuity. And that, they don't know what to say then, because they love Social Security, but they hate
Right.
annuities. Well, to me, that's an oxymoron. Yeah, you bet.
Yep. So a couple questions that really kind of focus around Social Security claiming and how do we do seminars and blah, blah, what can we help with. So if you have questions about that, and specifically Theodore, if you want to chat about what IAMS can do to help you get into the Social Security claiming business specifically, certainly give me a call. You can call your annuity sales director. We can have a more in-depth conversation about that. Bottom line is that this is a great time to do that. If we can assist you in some way outside the norm based on some commitments that we make to each other, we're certainly open to that. I think there's, I know that folks that are good, strong financial services professionals that understand annuities and how they work, and we can get trained up on Social Security. I truly believe we can make a major impact on your business in 23. I think we can do that for you. And so let's work together on it. Let's talk about how, with a little mutual commitment, we can make that happen in 23. So don't hesitate to give me a call. Theodore, if you have a couple minutes here later this morning, or I guess now we're getting close to afternoon, at least afternoon where you are. So look forward to that. I did chat to everybody the website where you can view the recordings of this event and any of these events that we've had over about the last 12 months. So if you want to bring yourself up to speed, or maybe there's something you heard you weren't sure about, you want to listen to again, or just want to kind of do a review of some of the Social Security claiming rules that Dave went over for you, those are on the recordings on the website. You're certainly welcome to go take a peek there, and maybe Dave, I know you've got an appointment. Maybe after you leave, I can at least show them where those are. And
Yeah.
then I
And
did.
if it's okay, I do have my folks here because it's
Okay.
11, but you're going to finish on out, Steve.
I can do
Hey,
that.
thank
Sure.
you thank you everybody for being on the webinar. Steve's just going to finish it up here with this last bit of information, and the ones that marked yes, I know we got quite a few. I'm looking forward to chatting with you and give you some insight and maybe see how Social Security can bring your production maybe to another level. So, okay, adios, and Steve, you take it from here to finish out. Okay.
Perfect. Good luck on your appointment.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. So that's good. So I'm going to close up that poll in just 1 second. I see that there's a couple of you that haven't voted, and like I've said, as said at the outset, I know some of you joined late, but don't at all be concerned about putting a no. There's no doubt there's people that have interest and people that don't, and I'm okay with a no. Sometimes when we don't have a vote, then Drake will give you a call just to confirm if you have interest. So if you don't have interest, go ahead and put no on that poll here really quick, and then I'm going to drop us all over to show you a couple things. Let me just make sure before I do that that there are no questions that I have missed. I think we got them all. Okay, so let's take a quick peek at where you can view the recording. So this is our website, www.imzinc.com, and all you need to do is go up to this YouTube icon, click on it, and then this will take you to recent events. Now, of course, this one isn't up there yet. It'll take a couple, 3 hours to load and record. So it'll be up there probably late this afternoon. But for instance, if you go back a ways, see how far. Here's Retirement Boss Radio. We talked a little bit about that. Here's this Social Security claiming, the last one that we did. I don't know what the date on that is. A couple weeks ago, it looks like. There's that recording is already up there for you of that event, and there's a whole bunch of other things. Obviously, there's a whole slew of recordings of different things. If you want to learn more about Retirement Analyzer, or learn about a specific product, there's almost nothing you can't find there. I always tell people, you go to the search tool and maybe type something in. You never know if something that we've done might come up for you. More importantly, if I can still do it, I'm going to show you all Retirement Boss Radio website, because I know a couple of you had interest in that. So what I wanted to show you is, we used to have the podcast up. They came up down here below. And I don't know what happened to those. I'll get with Dave and see if we can, if nothing else, I'll see if we can't get the podcast put back up here so you can listen to them. A lot of times I know people get a little bit intimidated by radio. I don't think they can do it. Anybody can do radio as long as we've got the right demographics in your area, 100,000 or more. So, that the radio station that we could get you on would reach, that all of that gets done for you. We find the right radio station, right time, negotiate costs so that it all makes sense for you, and then we'll get you set up with the Sidekick and the radio notes and everything that you need, all the tools that you need to be on radio. You'll be surprised by how easy that is if you actually have interest. We can certainly help you with that. And there's one very common subject that is a call to action, probably 2 times in every hour segment for Dave, and that's Social Security claiming. The reason that is because there's so much interest out there in it. So anyway, we'll try and get it so you can listen to a podcast if you want. It looks like for whatever reason, either I'm not locating them correctly, or because obviously he's changed where they were located. They used to be right down at the bottom, but I'll see if we can get it so that you all can listen to a Retirement Boss Radio webcast as well. I think that's all that we have today. I'm going to do one more quick check and make sure there are no other questions. I appreciate everyone joining us here today. It was a great group. Actually, as I look at the answers to the questions everybody did, actually very learned Social Security group, so that's great. Whatever we can do to help you, that's what we're here for. We're at 800-255-5055, whether it's a matter of training, incentives, product, service. Service has been a kind of a calling card for us here at IAMS over the last 36, 37 years. And I don't think it's ever been more valuable and useful to our producers than it is now, because frankly, carrier service levels have dropped off notably. So we're glad to help you. We appreciate the opportunity to work together. We have real high value for our customers, and so whatever we can do to help you grow your business, that's where we're going to be. We're going to meet you right where you are and get you what you need. My name again is Steve Murray. My number is 1-800-255-5055. I'm here every day, regularly available to chat, and of course, everyone has annuity sales directors and people that they can talk with on life insurance or long-term care, med sups and all. So whatever we can do to help you here at the office, give us a call. 1-800-255-5055. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the Super Bowl if you're a football fan. Let's have a great 23 together. Have a great afternoon. Thank you.